7:03 p.m. Everybody stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America
America,
and
to the republic
for which it stands,
stands
One nation.
one
one nation,
Under
under God,
indivisible.
indivisible,
with
with
liberty and
justice for all.
justice for all.
One.
Finley.
What?
Finley's here.
Finley's here. Finley was
Right
here.
here.
Oh,
I'm right here.
he was hiding on my list of people. Oh, there's Trish. There's Fred.
We'll
Okay.
open up this. Can we take a roll call just because we are on Zoom and it's very hard for everybody to see? So I will start it off. First Selectwoman Amory Dragonis,
Patrick Lombardi,
Fred Stanek,
Christopher
Bob
Bowen,
Finley,
Trish Stanka,
Al Bruno.
so we have all 7 select members here, correct? Sheila O'Malley with the town of Seymour, John Buccarati, our chief of police, John Oskowski, Jean Sosnovich from the Valley Indy, and Voice Newspaper is on as well as Rory Burke. And Richard Bertullo, we saved the best for last.
oh, thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks. Not hiding anybody, I'm just trying to see my thing. Okay. Open up to public comment. Is there any public comment? Rory, did we receive anything from public comment electronically?
we did not.
Okay. Call once again for public comment. Is there any public comment? Twice. Any public comment? 3. Okay, with that, no public comment. I move to item number 4 to approve the minutes from the December 6th, 2021 regular meeting. Before anybody does that, I'm going to ask that you raise your hand and state your name first so that we don't have everybody speaking at once. How's that? Can I have a motion to accept the meetings from the December 16th meeting? Motion by Patrick Lombardi, second by Al Bruno. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. all
Abstain, no,
for-
abstain.
I'm
Abstain.
abstaining.
Oh. Trish is abstaining. Bob Finley, you're abstaining as well. Sorry about that, guys. Motion carries 5-0-2. A note, Trish and Bob Finley's abstention. Sorry about that. At this point in time, I would like to introduce Seymour's new police chief, John Buccarati. John Buccarati comes to us from Fairfield County. His resume speaks volumes. And before I go off on him, Mr. Buccarati also sat with us in the freezing cold for 3 hours up at Seymour High School, passing out test kits as well, getting to know our residents. So thank you, Chief. Oh, you know what? He has another meeting going on with our police department. So let me just text him real quick. Sorry, guys. There was a special Board of Ed meeting, a special Board of Police Commissioners meeting tonight. How's everybody's holiday while we wait for him to get on?
Good.
I just text them. Fred, were you able to go get a test kit?
I did not go, no, I didn't.
Okay. We had some extra, we have some extras.
I heard the press announcement stating that only if you're having symptoms, you should go.
That, yeah, because we did not get what we were originally told we were going to get. But I think a lot of towns had that problem. So we really wanted the symptomatic people to get theirs first.
I still have some spares from when I bought some just before Christmas. So if anybody's in a pinch, let me know and I'll get you one. I mean, I got sick last week and I didn't even use it because I didn't have anywhere to go. So why waste the test? But I was able to get some from Walgreens before things really blew up.
Thank you for that offer.
Okay, it's coming on. It got cold out there really fast.
Yes, it did.
Bob, it says no.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, chief.
Sorry to be late there. I was just on a police commission meeting and we were discussing some stuff. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Same.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all too. Anne Marie asked me on tonight just to kind of introduce myself. My name is John Buccarati. Obviously, you know that. I'm the new chief here. I started yesterday. I come here after 31 years in Fairfield. I retired there on Sunday, actually, at the rank of deputy chief. You know, I'm hoping to move the department forward with hiring, with technology, with career development for our officers, make it a good place for them to work and to stay and to continue to serve Seymour over the years. Obviously, some of you may know, some of you may not know, I grew up here in Seymour. My parents still live here. I have a lot of family still that lives here. So I do have a vested interest in the town and moving the police department forward. And I look forward to working with all of you and on the budget, on whatever matters may come up. My office door is always open. I'm always open to having people come in and visit. If you have any issues or problems, please don't hesitate to call me. I answer my cell all the time. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, I don't know. But you know, I am happy to talk to anybody, bring up any problems you may have with me, and I will be happy to help you through them. Okay.
Welcome aboard, chief.
Thank you very much.
Chief,
Yeah,
do you want
best
me
of
to
luck.
share? Do you want me to share your cell phone number with the Board of Select members?
You can, yes, that would be
Okay.
great. That'd be
If any
great.
Board of Select members are interested in it, let me know and I will get it to you.
And really, don't hesitate to call me.
If I may, Madam First Select Woman,
Absolutely, Select Person Stanek.
thank you. I just want to state that I met the chief first at Trunk or Treat with you, Madam First Select Woman, and Superintendent of Schools Compton. We were the judges of the contest. And after talking to the chief that evening and subsequently running into him and meeting him two subsequent times, I want to say that I feel like I've known him my entire life. He's just so easy to speak with. I think he's going to be a real great addition to our town. I think the public will enjoy working with him. And I know we're going to have a great relationship.
Thank you very
Welcome,
much.
Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other select persons wish to speak?
I'll just say welcome aboard, welcome back to town. I'm glad to hear that you have a vested interest in the town. So
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll throw in there. He comes highly recommended by a friend who I know works at the Fairfield Police Department. So good luck, John.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Any other questions for the chief? If not, we'll let him get back to his special police commissioners meeting. No?
Thank you for your time, Chief.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Oh,
Thank
you're very
you.
welcome.
Thanks, chief.
Anytime. All right. Take care. Bye,
Take care.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, item number 6, presentation by the Economic Development Consultant Sheila O'Malley. Miss O'Malley.
Thank you for Selectwoman Dragonis and this board. Appreciate the opportunity to present to you tonight. First, I just want to say thank you to Anne Marie and to her staff. Everybody's been really very helpful, welcoming, and they're very organized, I have to say. Stop me if I'm going on too long. I'm going to try to make this as succinct as possible, but wanted to update you on the past month's activities. There was an opportunity for a Connecticut Community Challenge Grant through the state of Connecticut, Department of Economic and Community Development. And I subsequently realized when I submitted a letter of intent on behalf of Seymour, because I didn't want Seymour to miss out on any opportunities. And again, you can always turn down a grant, but I subsequently realized that Beacon Falls and Seymour have a large grant. That's a public-private partnership with, I don't know how much you want me to say, but there's a
ahead.
project with the Haynes property, over 200 acres. That looks like it's going to be a real economic generator for not only Seymour and Beacon Falls, but for the entire valley. And that's an exciting project. And so the town of Seymour and the town of Beacon Falls are submitting, along with Haynes, a proposal for this grant opportunity. However, I wanted this board to also consider something for just Seymour, which would be a downtown pedestrian and streetscape improvements, cost of which would be approximately $1 million. The project would include the area of downtown, beginning at the intersection of Route 313 and Route 115. The downtown block surrounded by DeForest Street and Wakely Street, north to State, Route 67, and east to Route 115. Too detailed for you, but this area includes 4 large blocks: the Metro North Waterbury Seymour Station, Town Hall, the Antique District, the Post Office, numerous retail and restaurant venues. The improvements would include sidewalk upgrades, ADA intersection improvements, lighting, wayfinding and signage. And it would include approximately 13 intersection and bring up the municipality up to code with ADA standards. Also allow for advertisement for downtown businesses, parking, complementary retail uses within the downtown and relationship to each other. I think obviously, this grant would be downtown focused. I think some improvements need to be made and could be made that might spark some excitement and enthusiasm for new retail and new restaurant activity. Wanted you to be aware of it, and also looking for, maybe the go ahead to actually submit an application on behalf of Seymour. That's one application. I have joined with the Naugatuck Valley Council of Governments for a joint application for some brownfields cleanup funds. And those funds would hopefully help out with, would be controlled by the town, but help out with the brownfields contamination on Housatonic Wire. I get them mixed up. Housatonic Wire site. I did meet with the owner. He does have a, at least what it looks like to be a remedial action plan. And he has some cleanup work to be done. And if the town were to get some funding for brownfields cleanup, perhaps there could be some leverage there to help with that site, to help move it along. As I've talked about in the past, some of the sites that Seymour has are around because they're problematic for a number of different reasons. And so, I'm of the opinion, and hopefully I believe Anne Marie is of the opinion that, getting some incentives to move these projects forward could create some movement where there's been a lack of movement. I would recommend to this board an application to the United States Economic Development Administration for the Haynes property project. That's an enormous project with a number of jobs that would be created and an impact for the entire valley. So I think that would make a good candidate. And I have to say that I don't think Seymour has had an application into US EDA in, I can't even, and I've been with chairman of the district for 20 years, and I don't think I've seen anything on behalf of Seymour. So I'd like Seymour to get involved and look for some federal money. I did take the liberty of applying for a Naugatuck River Greenway routing study, and with Anne Marie's concurrence. It's funding for, basically there's no match to it. It's $50,000. There is an in-kind match. The town of Seymour would be requesting funding to conduct a routing study for the remaining segment of its Naugatuck River Greenway. And the connection would be to Ansonia and Derby. The remaining portions in Seymour, sorry, looking at my notes. Study would include the municipal border between Ansonia and Seymour, north to the Ting Dam, Broad
Tingway.
Street. Yeah, I'm sorry if I got that wrong or butchered it. Route 113. And this funding can be for the construction, ultimately the construction of the complete connection between those communities. Again, it's a $50,000 routing study with no match. So those are some of the grants that I have been looking at for Seymour to start to spur some development activity. I've met with Mr. Spector. I've met with Mr. Budzinski, Alex Budzinski. I've spoken to Larry Janeski several times in the past month, and I've had a couple of meetings with Mr. Haynes and everyone for the grant application that hopefully I can provide some help with. And upcoming meeting with Mr. McGanny as he intends to lease out 2 empty retail store spaces on Columbus Street and is looking for parking, has some parking issues and so forth. So the Anne Marie and staff and I will be meeting with Mr. McGanny to help resolve some of those issues and hopefully move some tenants in. Like to meet with Jim Baldwin, haven't had the opportunity yet, but hope to do so. Did meet with Keith Rosenfeld, I hope that's right, town planner. A couple of quick observations, maybe 3 quick observations. You know, I think Seymour has so much going for it. I think traditionally economic development has kind of been decentralized. So you have maybe the town planner doing economic development. You have the building inspector. Sometimes, staff does economic development. Need a central location. People need to know that there's a person who's going to triage and be a liaison for them. So definitely that's a key component that I think needs work, and I'm going to try to assist with that. I'm not going to try, I'm going to assist with that. So yeah, a decentralization is what I'm getting a lot of. And then the second thing to consider is, you have a lot of land in Seymour, but you seem to have run out of available spaces, large spaces for future economic development purposes. And so, this board will have to determine, Anne Marie and this board will have to determine, how do you want to expand? In what areas do you want to expand? Just in the short period of time that I've been doing this job, I've gotten 2 requests, 3, one for 7,000 square feet, one for 40,000 square feet, and one for any amount of space they could get for warehousing. And, the issue becomes, okay, where do you put these people? You have some issues with Tri-Town. You definitely have issues with Housatonic wire and Housatonic lumber. where's the next available space that the town would like to see developed? And how can we create that space? You know, I have issues in that other community where, you know, I can't create space. In Seymour, space is here, but you need to prep it, you need to make site pads, and you have to be ready for tenants that want to move in. So those are some of the observations that I have for this board. And I think that's it. If you have any questions. or
Does
if
any
I-
select person have any questions for Miss O'Malley? Please raise your hand and I will call on you. Selectman Bowen.
First off, are you seeing the raised hand on my screen? I tried doing it through Slack.
I
Okay,
didn't see it. Oh, yes, I do see it.
okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure. First off, Miss O'Malley, could you please, do you have a more granular, I know there were a couple things that you gave us a high level report on. Could you potentially send a more granular rundown through email?
Sure. I'm
Yeah,
actually,
yeah, just-
I'm actually beginning to think I should just give everybody a copy of some of my notes here.
Yeah, this presentation's great. I just something that we can reference and has a little bit more granular detail that might not fit in the meeting.
Sure.
The Haynes grant, that is a combined grant that we're going for with Beacon Falls.
Yes, it is. And it has to do with an access road and site pad preparation.
Okay.
And I guess it's been in the works. It's being submitted through the COG on behalf of Beacon Falls and Seymour. And I know Anne Marie and Kurt before her have been meeting with Haynes and the COG to discuss this project. Again, a very significant project. I'm just coming in, halfway through, but hopefully I can provide any assistance that they need with the application. And I've also spoken to a couple of folks on the state level to make sure there isn't a conflict of interest with Seymour Beacon Falls app and an application from Seymour for something else. These applications are between 1 million, which is the minimum, and 10 million, which is the max. And I believe the other application is going to be seeking $10 million.
Okay. One more question regarding,
Yes,
you had
sir.
mentioned the downtown project that you were looking to get a grant for. What specifically would be included in that? Is that just beautification, or are we talking about potentially altering the area to make it more walkable? I know that was something that COG had
Yep.
mentioned a few years ago in a presentation that I went to.
Sidewalk upgrades, ADA and intersection improvements, lighting, wayfinding, signage, bike petty.
Mhm.
So all of that is included. I will note that DOJ had a ruling against the state of California with respect to its ADA code compliance. And so that ruling is going to come down on all of the states and then down to the local level, that you'll be required, if you have 50 or more people, you'll be required to bring your facilities, including sidewalks and intersections, up to ADA compliance. So that's somewhere down the line, but this would get us a head start on that.
Sheila,
Okay.
you mentioned 313 as part of that. Is that the whole the Broad Street Bridge and in to 67, that whole area?
The southern intersection of Route 313. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Right.
Sheila, I have one more question regarding ADA.
Yes.
One of the
Trish, I
problems
just
that,
see your hand up.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. I was just letting Trish know I saw her hand up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Trish. Just one more question. You had mentioned ADA. One of the problems that we have is very old buildings in the area. And I know in particular, Tracy, Tiwa Tracy, has noted problems with customers who need ADA assistance getting into the door.
Yep.
But that's a 100-year-old building. Are there plans could there potentially be plans with this grant to address that problem?
Yeah, I mean, it would take a look at all of the problem areas, right? And how can we make it more accessible? Sorry, going too fast.
All right, no problem. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Trish Danka.
Keep forgetting I'm on mute. I'm sorry. Hi, Sheila. It's nice to meet you.
Hi,
I was not
Trish.
at the meeting last month.
Nice to meet you.
I'm asking a silly question. I just want to make sure that someone's brought you up to speed with what, with locations like, I heard that you're dealing with Spectre, and have they brought you up to speed with like past history and things like that? So you know what to expect and how to. Okay.
Yep, I've spoken with that's a very good question. I've spoken with the first select woman and have gotten some background and history before meeting with these developers. Yes.
Okay. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure you had some background and knew what you were dealing with.
Yeah.
Various different locations that we've been trying to work on without having a director in place to get that help.
Understood. Yeah. And appreciate the efforts the town has put forward.
And just speaking for myself, I mean, we're an entire board of 7 who would decide, but I think as long as it fits in with the aesthetics and how we see the direction of, you know, where we want Seymour to go, I support anything that you're doing that's grant-based, that's free. I think what I'd like to hear in the future is if you think we're going to get a grant on something, I know you can't say for sure what you think that we're actually going to qualify and obtain, but I'd like to know what the overall scope or cost of the project is going to be so that we understand if you're going after that grant, you know, when does it have to be spent and what is the contribution from the town most likely to be? Again, understanding you're not going to know what that final number is going to be until you get the approval. But I'd be kind of interested to hear that aspect of it too. 'Cause there's usually with a grant, also an associated cost that the town's inputting. So.
Absolutely. There's almost always a match. And again, I can't, but I wouldn't commit the town to anything that they, you know, that this board would want to vote down, or you have every right to do that. And you know, you don't have to accept any grant.
Yeah, I think for me, my decision will be based on not just the project itself, but understanding what our responsibility is toward it.
Of course.
Financially and future wise, if there's any caveats that go along with that particular project, we need to be made aware of. That's how I'm going to make my decision. So just so you know what I'd be looking for when you're
Yep.
sharing such information, that would be fantastic. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions for Sheila? No? Thank you, Sheila, for coming on
thank you.
tonight and letting
Thanks,
us know what is
everybody.
going on.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
And over to another meeting.
Madam
Have
First
fun.
Selectwoman,
Oh, yes, Mr. Stanek.
if, I don't have any questions, but I have 2 comments, if I may.
Oh, absolutely.
First comment's a broad comment. The Haynes property, I've been calling it the new frontier for Seymour. That is our new economic frontier. And I think we have to treat it that way and do everything we can and follow Sheila's lead in applying for whatever grant money we can do to help the developer. Because that's where economic development is really going to blossom over the next 2 decades. That's no question in my mind. And secondly,
Absolutely.
getting down into the weeds and working on beautifying or working on new sidewalks for downtown Seymour. The stamped concrete sidewalks just don't stand up to the weather. The one sidewalk that was constructed in 1984 that extends north from the corner of Bank and Main Street to the Strand Theater is brick set in concrete. That sidewalk is still pristine. The other sidewalks just haven't held up. So we've wasted a lot of money in the past, grant money on sidewalks, and we have to do it right this time.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Any other comments? No, okay. Thanks, Sheila.
Okay,
Next
thank
on,
you.
Next on the agenda is item number 7, discussion and take possible action regarding the tax incentive applications for Odd Fellows LLC. Rory?
Sure. You all should have received in the email with the packets separate information, which included this application for a tax incentive program. In case you're not aware, this is one of the buildings that was involved with the structure fire on Main Street that happened, I believe, last year. And so the applications, mentions this, and it's primarily restoration. If you will remember, the process for these applications is that the applicants come with some preliminary estimates, and this board kind of gives a broad thumbs up, thumbs down for whether they would like to be eligible for this program. And at that point, when the project is complete, which according to the application will be in the fall of 2022, the applicant returns, provides documentation so that we can ensure that all their costs are eligible under the program. And at that point, a final decision is made as to the amount and duration of the incentive. One thing I will mention from some research that I had done for the tax incentive subcommittee is just that this property has been involved with the program in the past. There was a previous application from when one of the current tenants entered the building. And so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. The estimates that are included, most of the costs appear to be eligible. There are some that probably not be, but overall, it is, within your discretion to approve or deny the application. So I don't know if there are any questions about the application.
Does anyone have any questions about this application?
No, just one, Rory, from me. Do you know how many people they hired prior? Like, are they expanding, or are they just the same size as what they were? Do you know?
So the application includes an estimate for staffing going forward. I don't know the current. I think they were involved with a previous version of the tax incentive program, so I don't have the application. I only have the assessor's records for it. According to the application, they hope to have 8 full-time and 4 part-time employees here, and they mention that's in the first and third floors of the building. The second floor will be a rented space. They estimate 5 to 10 people could work out of, but that's
right. And then the third floor had 4,000 square feet of warehouse for art publishing.
Yep. But that's the only information I have. I've spoken to the gentleman, the original, the property owner had reached out prior to Sheila coming on board, but I did share this with her when it was going to be coming before the board.
Okay.
I have to pull up my notes here. This electronic stuff is crazy. So is it take possible action? Nope. Yep. So what is the board's pleasure?
I have some questions, if you don't mind.
Okay.
A lot of people were displaced from apartments during that fire. Was this above? This is in that space, no?
No, there were 2
Or was that next door?
Yeah, there were 2 structures that were impacted. This is the Greenwich Workshop building.
Okay.
I mean,
What is the estimated revenue that we would get from these businesses? Do we have that estimate, or? I mean, basically what I'm asking about is ROI.
I would have to check the assessor's records for what they are paying in property taxes currently. It's hard to say because, again, a lot of this is probably restoration work as a result of the structure fire. And it's not
And this,
in the application.
okay, this building is how old exactly?
I do not have that offhand, but pretty old.
We're talking possibly triple digits. Okay. I actually have a question for Selectman Lombardi. So relying on your firefighting experience, where was the short that caused the fire? Was that was between the buildings, right? You remember?
I'm not going to.
We really can't get into
Right.
that, Chris.
I don't want to comment on that.
Very
Your,
well.
to answer your question, okay? You can call our fire marshal, Tim Willis, or you can call Mr. Rockwell, who is the assistant fire marshal, and they would be able to provide you with that information unless the investigation of that fire is still pending. So at this point, I would not want to comment on it, Chris.
Very well.
yeah,
That we don't want to put ourselves out there, Chris, to potentially have any issues. Bob?
yeah. So for the purposes of, this business staying in town after such an unfortunate event, they've come to us and applied for a tax incentive for the moving forward. Is that the way we should kind of read into this? And
That is
they
correct.
could have very well taken their business and moved it elsewhere, but they still want to stay within the town.
Rory, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the same business that has the warehouse in Beacon Falls. They shut down their warehouse in Beacon Falls and is moving it to Seymour.
I believe so. If the board would like some more information before you take action regarding, what is simply restoration versus improvement or anything else, I can certainly reach out to the property owner and try to get some additional information. And you could table it for the evening.
Yeah, it would help to justify, if they're growing, if they've really moved, they're moving more of their facility into the town, because then there are definite reasons for that.
Mr. Lombardi?
And then, then possibly by doing that, or you could answer some of Chris's concerns, obviously on the return on investment and whatnot. But I think it's a good idea. I think we need to see some more information before you make a final decision here.
Did I interrupt, Pat? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. My number one concern is that the age of this building is high. I want to make sure that they're not throwing either. Good money after bad, basically. I want to make sure that this old building is up to code, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to make sure that we don't have a repeat of what happened last year, essentially, which could, we didn't have any injuries that time, but we don't want it to happen again. And with an older building, you pull away stuff, you don't know what's coming out. That's my number one concern. And that's really what led to my questions that I asked before. And would go into whether or not I support this.
Chris, but that's kind of, I don't know if this is the difference between the tax incentive and something that the town should be doing to make sure the building's safe, or kind of, I think would be two separate situations.
Yeah.
From a zoning and making sure the safety of the building and, everything's good, that's one thing, but they're, for their investment to come back into town and asking us for a tax incentive to do that, I think that's we got to, I think we would separate those two items. You know,
What I will do is I will send an email out to the board and just asking you to respond with any questions that you may have. And then I can approach the property owner and get you guys some answers for the next meeting.
That's a good idea, Roy.
I would prefer that.
So can I have a motion to table this then?
So moved.
Motion by
Seconded.
Al, second by Trish. Sorry, I saw hands up. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries 7-0. Okay. Item number 8, discussion and take possible action regarding Seymour Plaza. Rory?
If you guys will recall, this had come before the board, I believe, in October. It was in Section 8-24 referral to the Planning and Zoning Commission. The referral has come back. The letter should be in your packets. And then, Rich, I believe there are documents that need to be approved.
Yes, if I may, folks, it in concept seems to be in order, and the 824 comes back with a positive recommendation. But I would ask if the sentiment of the board is to approve it, that the motion be to approve the easement and to authorize the first select woman to execute it on behalf of the town, subject to the approval of town council as to form. I would ask that that be in fact the motion, because we're going to make some suggested changes to the form of the easement.
Can I have a motion?
motion.
Motion by
Second.
Bob Finley, second by Al Bruno. Discussion? Mr. Stanek?
If I may, I don't understand the letter from the town planner when he's talking about discussing the 8-24 approval. He talks about strategies and goals found in the town's plan of conservation and development. I'm not sure what that has to do with this particular issue. Maybe Mr. Bertula could respond.
I don't think I can enlighten you on that one. I think it deals with a 6-inch section of the building, believe it or not, 6 inches. Rory, am I correct on that?
That was my recollection, just a little.
So I don't quite get that, but all I can say is it seems to be the sort of thing you'd like to do to assist a taxpayer in the town of Seymour.
I have no objection. I just don't understand what the Planning and Zoning Commission or the planner considered here with regard to that statement.
But they did approve it.
Okay, Mr. Bertulli, you're telling me, stop the questioning. Let's move on. I understand.
It must be consistent with the plan of development.
I understand that. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred.
All in favor? Motion, chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Where we go? Top of the page. Okay, sorry, guys. All right. Item number 9, Select Woman's Report. As you know, the COVID numbers have been spiking up. I think we're at 25% for the state right now. I have been in very close discussions with the superintendent, just talking one-on-one as to what's going on. You know, the governor did not and will not pass that emergency order just yet to shut the schools down and go distant learning. If the schools want to go distant learning, the schools could go distant learning. However, it would not be covered in their 180 days, and they would have to make the days up at the end of the year. So the schools could decide, just like Ansonia did, that we are shutting down for the week because we don't have buses, because we don't have teachers, because our students. But those days would have to be tacked on to the end of the year. They would not be forgiven. So she's working with that. And I know there's a few teachers that have reached out to our legislation as about that as well. We did get in our COVID kits yesterday at about 10:05. They arrived at Town Hall. We put out the code red. We said we wanted to make sure that those that had health issues came to Town Hall and got theirs. You know, we put some aside. We had our event tonight. When I got to the high school at about 4:45, the line was all the way down Carriage Drive and up to Ross Drive. By 6:15, we started handing out about 10:05. By 6:15, there was no line. It went very smoothly. People were there. People were asking if they can have 2 tests because we didn't get the initial 2,800 tests that we were told that we were going to get. We got like 1,800. We said 1 test per family, 1 test to a car. These tests were only if you felt symptomatic. It's not just to go test. These tests are not allowing the students to go back to school. They have to have a PCR test. It won't allow you to go back to work. You need a PCR test. It's just to let you know if you have it, if you have the symptoms. We at Town Hall have gone to a, I don't want to say sporadic, we are adjusting it. So we have 1 person in the office. If there's 2 people that work in one office, like the tax collector's office, Dana's working one day and the assistant is working the next day, and they're alternating the schedule. Same thing in the first Selectwoman's office. Dee and Steven are alternating schedules. Same thing in the Board of Finance, same thing in the tax assessor's office. Town Hall had gotten hit pretty hard right before Christmas. We had 2 people in the Board of Finance. We had somebody in the assessor's office, the fire marshal's office, building's office. We got hit pretty bad with it. And now we have to make sure that so that Town Hall doesn't shut down, especially now with it being tax season, tax collection time. We need to make sure people are operating. So we, Rory, Chris, and I had a meeting, and we decided that we're going to have every single meeting is going to be Zoom for the whole month of January, just to make sure that we are keeping everybody safe. That is our number 1 priority. Our number 1 priority is to make sure we keep our residents and our town safe. Coming into Town Hall, any town building, police department, community center, Town Hall, library, you must have a mask on. I know Chris Pelosi has worked with our attorney's office to come up with executive orders about testing, just like they do at the school. If you're not vaccinated, you're going to be testing every week. We need to keep the numbers down. 25% is very high. If you think about it, 25%, we're at a higher number now than we were last year when schools were closed. It's not bashing anybody. It's just that this Omicron virus is, some people say, well, it's just a head cold, or it's just a cold. It's just this, it's just that. It's affecting everybody differently. And we need to make sure that we all are doing our job and keeping everybody safe. Enough on COVID, because I'm kind of done with COVID. Our budget summit starts on Thursday, goes into Friday, and the Board of Finance will be meeting with each department. Those meetings will be on Zoom, so anybody can listen to them. I urge the Board of Selectmen, just if you have a chance to log on and listen to the other departments. I'll be presenting my budget, I think, towards the end of February. But I'll put it in front of our board beforehand. We are looking at increases in trash, just like everybody else. I think the increase in trash, Rory, would they say 25%?
Yeah, that's correct.
25% increase in trash alone. They got a market on it for sure, as well as recyclable. China's not buying recyclable. The Asian countries are not buying recyclable material. So we're kind of stuck there. As you know, we just hired our new chief of police, Frank Gavinelli's interim director at Public Works. We just posted for the Christmas tree pickup. Dr. Compton's doing a great job with the Board of Ed. We have Sheila, as you heard, Sheila had to apply for those grants before she met with us because there are deadlines. So grants may be put in before we have to have a board meeting because we want to make sure we get those grants and so that we meet those deadlines. So please don't think that she or I are trying to hide anything is being hidden. It's just that everything is on timelines and those have to get in. If we don't have a meeting, I'm not going to call a special meeting for a grant. Just, go with it. Of course, we won't spend any money unless it's put in front of our board. I think that is it for my Selectwomen's report. I think. Yep, that's it. I think that was a lot. We were going to have the swearing in for the chief this week, but because of the numbers being so high, we decided that we're going to push the chief swearing in until February. Hopefully by then the numbers will be much, much lower and we can all attend and so we can show support towards our chief. That's it. Does anybody have any questions on my Selectwoman's report? No? Good. Okay.
I just had a comment, Emery.
Go ahead, Bruno.
To your point about the grants and getting things in a timely manner, I remember when Kurt first got elected, and obviously you were on the board too. I know there were a couple of grants that slipped away due to folks not watching their deadlines. So I want to say thank you to you and Sheila for making sure that doesn't happen. We lost some significant funds just because of human error and lack of attention. So
Thanks,
appreciate
Al.
that. And thanks for the clarification.
Thank you. All right, on to our next one is the appointments. Okay. Harvey Catlin Events Parade Committee. It's a reappointment for 2 years. Expires on 1/4/2004.
Moved.
Second.
Motion by Bob Finley, second by Chris Bowen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Paul Tontini, Western Connecticut Tourism District. It's a reappointment of 3 years, January 4th, 2025. All in, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Al Bruno, second by Trish Danka. All in favor? Or
Aye.
discussion?
Aye.
What
Chair
is
votes
this?
aye. I knew it.
Western Connecticut Tourism District. Could somebody get more information on this, please?
It is,
Go ahead, Roar.
yeah, this one, I have actually met Paul.
Uh-huh.
This is, CT has its statewide tourism board. It's broken down into regions and the towns have representatives to the regional board. So it is Paul Tontini. I can confirm that he is active.
Cool.
Great, thank you.
I vote
Hold
aye.
on a minute, please. Get on that chair and sit down before I beat your cocoa. It's a dog, it's not a person, sorry. Greg Jerick, Inland Wetlands Commission, it's appointment of 4 years, January 4th, 2026. Motion by Pat Lombardi. Second by
Second.
Chris Bowen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Karen Bertapelli for the Conservation Commission. It's an appointment of 2 years, 1/4/2024. Motion by Trish, second by Chris Bowen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. W. Kurt Miller, Treasurer, to reappointment, 2 years, 12/1/2023 is when that term will be up. Cover motion. Bob Finley,
Second.
Chris Bowen. Sorry,
Can
Al,
I-
I saw Chris's hand.
Hey,
Sorry.
And Maria, I just wanted to verify, so that is the right date, the way it worked?
Yep.
It's
Odd
2 years,
year.
okay,
Odd year. Because
Thank
our
you.
elections are every odd year.
right, I just want to make sure. Yep.
All in favor?
I,
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. William Sawicki, Assistant Treasurer, to reappointment of 2 years, 12/1/2023. Motion by Pat Lombardi, second by Bob Finley. All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Christian Handowitz, Board of Finance. Kristen is taking over for Zani. Zani resigned because of a position that he took. We wish him lots of luck in his new position. Kristen Handowitz is stepping in as the Board of Finance. It's an appointment for 4 years. It's a 12/1/2025. This is an elected position, so in 2025, her position will be up for re-election.
Moved.
Moved by Fred
So moved.
Stanek, second by Chris Bowen. All in favor?
aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Okay, and with that one, we are now on to item number tax refunds and abatements. In your package, you have the tax refund and abatements. Please go through the tax refunds and abatements and see if there are any issues with people that you may or may not know on there. Once you reviewed.
I'll make a motion to accept as presented.
Thank you, Trish. Second by Bob Finley. All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion. Chair votes aye, 7-0. Thank you. There are no transfers tonight. Correspondence. In your packet, you'll see that there's a letter from the attorneys regarding health insurance for the police officers. Just seeing if once an officer may re-enroll, if they retire, can they get on after they retire? We had a question brought to our attention about that. That was it on that. Rory, did any public comment come in?
Nope, none that I've seen.
Okay, under public comment, can we go to, well, next is Selectmen's comment, and we will go with Selectman Lombardi. It works on my screen.
Wondered if you were going to remember. I really don't have much other than to, just tell you, everyone stay safe out there, wear your masks, and hopefully we'll get through this. That's it.
Great, thank you. Tricia?
Oh, you hit me early tonight. First
I'm
and
going by
foremost,
my screen.
I wasn't here last month. The day you were having your meeting was my birthday and my family insisted I spend with them. I'm not gonna lie, I was happy to do that and have dinner rather than attend a meeting. But I did want to take a moment to welcome Fred Stanek to the Board of Selectmen. Also, thankfully, before the Omicron variant really decided to run rapid. I've been away from meetings a little too long, I think. I was able to attend the Land Trust's visit from Santa, and there was a very nice turnout of some great kids, and we had a great firework display. Speakers didn't work as well as we would have liked, but that's okay. The kids had a great time, and so did I. Always happy to see Santa. Also, again, I just want to remind everyone to be as safe as you can. COVID is not a political issue at all. I don't want to make it a political issue. Nobody should be making it a political issue. As far as I'm concerned, this is all about people using some very good common sense and having respect for each and every one of us, regardless of whether we're vaccinated, not vaccinated, and what our beliefs are. So please, everybody stay safe. Please follow protocol because it really truly is there for everybody's safety and security, nothing more. And I'm wishing everybody a happy and healthy new year. While it has not started out as great as I would like, I'm still hoping that we are going to be on an upswing this year because 2021 sure tried to kick 2020's butt in the not great year factor. That's all I have.
Thank you. Al Bruno?
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that the test kit distribution went really well today. And I hope that everybody got one who wanted one or needed one. Thank you for you all doing that. That was great for our town. Just want to say, fingers crossed that kids events aren't canceled this winter. I was happy that the fall teams at our high school and middle school and just fall teams in general, sports teams and whatever your kids are into, were able to gather and have banquets and celebrate their seasons and be with each other. I think that's a big thing that was missing last year, obviously. So I'm glad that that went through for the fall. So fingers crossed winter, we can get through this. And I hope everyone had a relaxing holiday season with family. And I wish everybody a happy new year.
Hey, Mr. Bruno? Just so you know, Tom, Amy just texted us. They handed out 675 test kits tonight. That's great news. Next, select person, Fred Stanek.
Thank you, Madam First Selectwoman. I don't have much to say this evening. I want to thank Trish for welcoming me to the board. The rest of the members welcomed me last month. Thank you. Just want to wish everyone a happy new year. Hopefully everyone stays safe. And I would like to commend the First Selectwoman for taking the action to impose further restrictions with masking and other restrictions in the town buildings. It's important that we all that we are all safe and the public is safe in utilizing our services. Thank you.
Thank you. Team effort. It's always a team effort. Selectman Bowen.
All I have to say is please be safe and please try to take care of yourselves. This is yet another variant, and there will probably be more variants. It's how a virus works. Be safe, and if you need assistance, please reach out.
Thank you. Selectman Finley.
No, I just wanted to thank Selectwoman Dragonis and the town for the communication and getting the test kits out. I mean, it wasn't just about test kit once we weren't getting them. I thought there was very good communication. It was on the website. It got out there amongst everyone. Everyone was aware. So I wanted to thank everybody for all the efforts and standing out on the coldest night to go hand them out. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay. And with that, that is it. I had everything that I had to say. No one else has anything else to say. With that,
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you,
Seconded.
Trish. Second by Pat Lombardi. Right, everybody, please stay safe. Anything happens, I will let you guys know. Stay safe.
Thank
Bye,
you, guys.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Good night.
Take care.